I mean, are we gonna? Do you think we're gonna get the witnesses that are like talking about their marriage and what was going on inside of their marriage and kind of the, I guess, failed state? Because I mean, that would be.
I think they have to. I mean, unless it's entirely public knowledge to everyone on that jury as to the state of what their marriage was, they need to prove that there is some sort of motive for him to actually have killed her.
Well, there is a small town. They probably are all gossiping about people's marriages all the time. I mean, let's be real. That's
true, but would you not at least try and put it on the record?
Oh, of course, yeah, of course. But I'm sure that people were gossiping about, the Murdaughs. He's going.
Were they gossiping? I have stories for y'all.
Here we go.
Want to hear about the gossip?
Spill the tea. Spill the tea.
Time with
James. My good friend.
So apparently, Alex. Well, I think we could all say this. We knew this. They did not have the perfect marriage at all.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually. What?
He told the police he did.
Yeah, right. Exactly, and they in court 100%. That's what they said, and that's why I don't really have confidence, to be honest, in the state doing this, but I would love for the state to introduce all of that. I'm hoping that that's what they were doing with this woman that was named, that he was texting about, what movie she liked. I don't know who she is. Maybe she's a friend or a cousin or something, but they kind of did go in on that a lot. And I wonder if that's to paint the picture he was texting other women and things like that, because as I said, they were not getting along very well. She apparently hated that property. The property she was at, like that here in Walterboro, and she liked to stay at their other property. I think it's down in Charleston or something like that. She hated this property. Yeah. They were apparently she wanted to divorce him. Now the juicier stuff I heard is about him and his extramarital affairs. Apparently there was a local escort who's on YouTube. I'm gonna find her videos. She has spilled the beans about him and things like that. So, and I heard this from someone who knows them and their family quite well today in court. And actually heard it. This person's relative, who may or not be involved in politics in some way, heard it directly from this woman herself. The story.
That's some prime stuff. So let's be clear. I would actually believe. I would 100% believe. That. I mean, they were cheating. Whether once one of them, both of them, that he was fucking hookers, escorts, whatever, sugar babies, whatever. That wouldn't be surprising at all. And you bring somebody up there, you put them on the stand, you say that. Absolutely sure. You bring the hooker and you get her on the stand and she testifies. Sure. Does not prove to me there's a murder.
No.
Yeah, true.
That does not prove to me there's a murder on this case. Very interesting, salacious. I'm sure that the jury would perk up. That'd be the most interesting thing they've heard. It's the town gossip forever, right?
Well, let's face it. It's shit. Is it South Carolina? It's going to throwing that kind of mud. Of course, it's going to impact on his characters even more so than what. Let's face it. A lawyer that's been misappropriating trust funds and shit like that is actually going to be. Right. But you're right. It doesn't prove a damn thing aside from he's a horrible person, which we already knew.
Shit. We already know he's a piece of shit. Like that's not that's not something that convicts you criminally. You can be a morally bankrupt person who did not commit a crime.
Exactly. I resemble that remark.
He's like, I resemble it so closely.
Absolutely.
Now, what if I told you that Maggie Murdaugh was having an affair?
I'm not surprised at all.
Probably with the stable boy that they've been talking about, right?
What if I told you the rumor is she was having an affair with the man who ran the kennels and the dogs?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
That is a spicy meatball.
Mm-hmm.
That adds a different edge to it. Okay. So what would the theory be built on so James, so let's say that theoretically, let's just presume for purposes of hypotheticals, not saying it's true, that she is banging the kennel master, right? So the theory is that Alex drags her out there and it's like, you like the dog guy? Well, you're gonna die with the dog guy, and just blow in and like kills them out by the kennels. I mean, I guess that would be the theory of the case.
Well, I don't think the state is going to set up. I don't think the state's even going there with this. Maybe if that's where they do, that's probably where they would go. That
gives me a motive. That gives me a hell of a lot better of a motive than they've got right now. Then I'm able to say, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense why that would happen at the kennel.
And the reason I feel like it fits too is because Alex was, I mean, if you listen to the 911 call, he was emotionally distraught. He was upset. And that could be, fake. That could be he is upset by everything that's going on and presents an emotion. I do feel, though, if this was premeditated, or not even just premeditated, if he caused these murders, I don't believe he meant to murder his son. I believe he thought that his wife was down there with the other guy. And I believe he or whomever he had with him killed the son, thinking it was someone else. They were going to kill Maggie and the guy that she was having an affair with. And it went wrong. And he ended up killing his son, or someone he was with killed his son, not knowing. And then they had to do this whole thing of covering it up. That's my little theory that I'm building upon. It's totally speculation, of course, but that's kind of where I'm going.
No, and I think that's once again, James, this is way better than what we're getting from the prosecution, because at least there's a theory, at least there's something that I can say, okay, well, this one makes some sense, right? I guess my issue there is proving that, once again, Alex Murdaugh pulled the trigger on both of them, because that's what they're alleging here.